My name is Dr. Victoria M. DeFrancesco Soto, and I'm a political scientist by training. I'm a fellow at the Center for Politics and Governance here at the LBJ School at UT. I'm also a visiting scholar at the Department of Government. Now, while I mentioned that I'm broadly trained as a political scientist, I also do political analysis, so I use my skills in looking at politics both in the classroom and beyond.
Wow.
I have been incredibly lucky to have amazing people surround me throughout my life, and of course my family is one of those core parts. And within that, my sister, Terry DeFrancesco, she is a professor of veterinary medicine, so she was always a role model for me in terms of following the academic route and enjoying research and probing questions, and also just being a strong woman. And then within academia and within research, I had amazing mentors both in undergrad and graduate school. And later on, I've also had people who have been kind enough to let me stand on their shoulders. You know, there's a positive side and a negative side, right? So if you think about it, less than 100 years ago, we didn't have the right to vote. And now we see women being the ones who turn out at greatest numbers when it comes to elections. So I think that makes me feel good about the advancements women have taken in politics. However, there's still a long road ahead. As you mentioned, you know, women still are only 25% of elected offices. We still haven't had a female president, unlike many countries in Europe and even South America. Now, the challenge here is to get those numbers in elected office commensurate with women in the electorate, because women are engaged. We know this. They care, and they have a number of issues they care about. Now, the thing is to motivate women to run, to get them in the pipeline, and that's the key. We need to have a voice at the table, not just at the ballot box. Well, it's an ideological issue, right? Just as we have men who vote in favor of issues supporting women, whether it be in the social issues or financial issues. So, you know, we really can't generalize that how you are going to vote depends on your gender. We do tend to see some trends there, but ultimately, your best predictor is going to be your partisanship. You know, what has been so amazing is the growth of women at elected office in the GOP. So traditionally, we know that women tend to identify as Democrats, and also when women run, they tend to run as Democrats. But in 2010, we saw that flip. So while the total number of women went slightly down in Congress, we saw a rise in elected Republican women and high-profile Republican women, governors Jim Brewer, Susana Martinez of New Mexico, Kelly Ayotte in the Senate in New Hampshire. So, you know, I think what's really interesting going forward was this, you know, the exception that confirms the rule that you know, in the 2012 election, we're going to see Democratic women surge again, or is this part of a larger trend of Republican women catching up to their Democratic female counterparts? So women outnumber men on college campuses across the country. And the key here for women is to keep that momentum going, and also to not take no for an answer. You know, I think women many times are too polite and are socialized not to ask for that raise, not to ask for that additional opportunity. And my view in that and in most things in life is the worst they can say is no.